Have you been feeling on edge? Have you been not quite sure what's happening in your body, but there's so much tension, tightness, insecurities? Does life feel hard, like a struggle, like you're never gonna get ahead and you just can't figure out why? You've put in so much work to yourself already, and yet you're still struggling? Well, it could potentially be you've had experienced some trauma, particularly complex childhood trauma, because it takes a while for your whole system to navigate through traumas that are held in your body that might not have words or a particular experience related to it, but has been there for a long, long time, and it's held in your body. That's kind of how trauma shows up. I'm Heidi at Self Grounded Therapy, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about trauma. It's scary thinking that we might have trauma held in our bodies can really raise some alerts to us. But it also is helpful to know that there's a way to heal through that trauma, through the stuff that's in your body. And you can do that by tapping into the parts of yourself that hold that trauma. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, that there's a part of you that kind of pulls you out of life, and maybe you dissociate or you aren't quite connected fully with yourself all of the time. Maybe there's some depression that's hanging around and just pulls you down and numbs you out because life is too much, it's too hard. And sometimes it's better to be numb than to feel. Or that's at least what the depression tells you. Maybe you're really anxious and there's so many thoughts that run through your mind. There's so much worry about the future, about how do you keep yourself safe? How do you not have what happened in the past not happen again? That's sometimes what anxiety feels like. And all of this together kind of makes up your whole system, your whole body, your entire experience. And there's ways to help you with that. It can be exhausting and draining and tiring and just, you might even want to give up on life because it's so intense inside your body. And maybe you're not even fully connected with what's inside your body because of the ways that you pull yourself out. And I want you to know that that's completely and totally normal. It's actually a safety thing for us. When we've experienced intense stuff in our lives, trauma, relationships that were not attuned to us, especially when we were kids, when that stuff has happened in our lives, it's a totally protective thing to pull yourself out, to dissociate, to go into depression, to go into anxiety, because those are ways that your body is trying to work to keep you from getting so deeply hurt again. And that's pretty amazing. It's also, I know, so hard to live in a world where you just feel like you can't quite get the life that you want. You can't quite get over the trauma. You can't break free. And you just feel stuck, and it feels non-ending. It feels like it's going to go on forever and ever and ever. Maybe there's even replaying of certain situations or events in your life that happened in your mind. Maybe those play over. Maybe you have really bad nightmares, and it's scary. Trauma is not an easy thing to live with. And when you're able to actually identify the different parts of yourself and to help them step out and to tenderly care for each one of them, something magical starts to happen. You start to become free from the trauma, and you can step into who you really are, who you were always meant to be, that's been shaded by this life events. And then you can learn how to live a life that you really want to live. Part of how I help you do that is by helping you actually very clearly identify different parts of yourself to externalize them, to deeply understand them, and to help the burden, the trauma that's inside of them, be released. And then to help you fill yourself up with the qualities that you intuitively know are exactly what you need, exactly who you are. And when we do this, it's not about making the parts of yourself go away. We are actually inviting you to be more fully yourself. That's what I do. And that's what I help you do. It's really about how you tune into yourself, and you can start healing from the inside. And when you heal from the inside, the outside world, the struggles with relationships, the feeling of I just can't get ahead can start to dissipate a little bit, and you can be free to find the courage to step into the life that you dream of, that you feel like you deserve, but that life has just handed you thing after thing after thing and beaten you down. You can break free from that. I know it's hard, and I know it's scary, and it's a part of you that's really scared about what you might find inside. But when you work with me, when we work through this trauma, we do it at a slow pace that's very honoring of everything that's happening inside of you. And you don't have to actually replay or tell me what the trauma was. All that we need to do is make sure that we're in deep connection with the parts of you that are holding it. And you get to choose how much you share and how much you keep inside. And with all of that, we can release the burdens and we can let them go. And then we can invite in your magical being, who you are at the core. So if that at all sounds interesting to you, please reach out to me, fill out my contact form. You can schedule an appointment, a free 20-minute consultation, right here on my website. If you're on YouTube, feel free to go over to my website, www.selfgroundedtherapy.org, to schedule your free 20-minute consultation today.